Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again this evening. Just a real quick reminder, if you're enjoying the videos, make sure that you like, subscribe, share the videos with your friends, all that good stuff. I'll never claim to be the crypto oracle or anything like that, but I will do my best as always to help you try and make some of the better decisions in the cryptocurrency market. Um, as always, this is not financial advice for educational purposes only. But what I'd like to do right now is take a trip down memory lane with Ethereum. Had a request a few days ago to do an analysis on Ethereum. So, just a reminder there, if there is anything that you would like for me to take a look at, that just put it inside the comments, and I'll do my best to take a look at it. But I'd like to take a look here. This is in 2017. I'm kind of looking at May 2017 and working our way through the year. Just taking a look at some of these price points in particular, paying no attention to this big long wick that happened on June 21st. Um, but I will say one of the things that I do want to pay attention to is the wick that's right here that happened on the 27th of May 2017. I'm on the 1 day chart here looking at USD. What this is signifying is that there were some profit takers that were trying to sell, put the price lower, but there were some bulls basically here at this hypothetical 150 to $155 range that wouldn't allow it to go down any further. We then saw an increase and we saw it cap out right here around the $230 mark. These are really important ranges. And then it kind of hit its high at that point, which I believe was an all-time high at this moment in time, which was June 6th, 2017, capped out at $400. And you can see there is a tiny wick that is appearing here that they tried to push farther beyond that, but there were too many people that wanted to take their profits. So you can see, there's massive selling. That's what all these wicks at the bottom of the candle bodies are for. Is a lot of sellers selling, but then there's buyers that are, keeping the price up there. Eventually it's going to go away. And this long wick right here, which I said that we would ignore, that was an indicator to a lot of people that, well, hey, we've got some problems, so we should probably get rid of our positions. And so we see a lot of selling, more selling, more selling, and then we get down here to this same point that we had back on May 27th. This now we are at July the 16th. We saw the same action. We saw basically a push down to the $155 range, and it was stopped. It was stopped. The price did for a moment or a few moments get down to the $130 ranges, but eventually pushed it back up again, capped out right here at $228 or somewhere thereabouts. So it happened several days in a row, with the exception of this little dive and rebound. And then we see a smaller dive and a rebound, not as exaggerated as the first one, which is good, which means, hey, the market's going to pick back up. So we see its upward trend and then it dies right here at $400 again. So we get from $150 to $400. That's more than 100% profit at that point. So we have people naturally trying to take profits and pushes the price back down here to that same level, $228. Was not allowed to go down beyond that at that point. So we saw an uptrend, and then eventually we get to this point where we see December roll around, and there was huge rally taking it all the way up to where we saw the cap on this, which was $1,400, $1,500, just massive profits to be had there. Of course, I'm going to throw one more line here because this is also an area where we can see these long wicks that extend below the candle body, again showing that we are seeing some selling pressure, but there are buyers keeping the price up. Now let's take a look at this. I'm going to remove this piece of the chart over here and move forward to the current status of Ethereum. So let's just take a look at where we are today. And I'm going to kind of shrink my chart here so that we can see the lines of support. Um, we can see we're getting critically close to this area of this $400 mark. And I did a video a couple days ago, and I said that there's a good chance that Ethereum is going to continue to go down, and it has done that. We of course saw some sideways movement. We typically these days see a down channel, some sideways movement, then either an uptick to show a valley, or basically just continuing to move down, and that's what we're seeing right now. I'm barely into my 1 day chart at this point in time, um, but nonetheless, it's looking like it might continue to go down. It really depends on what Bitcoin is going to do, because Ethereum is largely based on the price of Bitcoin. But Ethereum as a whole has been, moving downward. And part of my thought process for the reason why this has been happening is a lot of the initial coin offerings have been taking Ethereum as their payment method for this, which, in my opinion, was what caused a lot of the pump that happened in January, because January is where there were a lot of ICOs that were launched that were taking Ethereum as payment. So a lot of people were buying Ethereum and were using Ethereum to make payments to these ICOs. So this particular area right here. We'll call this the ICO crowd going from January 1st through February 1st. And you can see, basically in that entire month of January, Ethereum was at a super high price. As Bitcoin was going down, Ethereum was going up, and I firmly believe that that's one of the reasons why. And you can see about halfway through January is when things started to push down, and again, you can see the downward pressure. All over the place. You've got a lot of people taking profits that have purchased Ethereum when it was super, super low. As a market as a whole, you have a lot of people that have been in the market for over a year. So you've got a lot of people that, that have the ability to sell at this price and still have massive amounts of profit. So anyway, um, yes, I do see Ethereum continue to go down at least a little bit. We're at $447.45 according to Coinbase or GDAX. Um, if we get below this $400 mark, we're in trouble. We're wanting to look for a candle to close, but but this is really this point of a massive decrease in price, going from $400 potentially to 300 or $250. That would be I know that would be devastating for a lot of people. So if you're holding, just keep that in mind, that if we do happen to go below $400, we're in for a wild ride. And just wanted to mention that and bring that up, because I know a lot of you were really curious on where Ethereum might go. Now, if Bitcoin does happen to take a turn and start moving positive, maybe we go back up to 8,000, 8,200, 8,400. If that happens, there's a potential that we might move sideways for a little bit again, just sort of like what we did right here, from the 18th through about the 24th, 25th. Um, but Bitcoin is really the king still. No matter what anybody says, Bitcoin is still going to be what controls the market. So we have to keep that in mind all the time. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all in Discord. Thanks. Bye.